Good evening, everybody, and welcome to day 3 of the Shift Challenge. I am so excited for tonight because tonight we talk about investing in your purpose. This is going to be a wonderful night if I can do what I'm supposed to do. Have you ever gotten to the point where sometimes what you're supposed to do and what you're doing are two entirely different things? And as much as you would love, see, that don't work. As much as you would love to have everything working the way that it's supposed to work, it doesn't quite work that way. Um, that's where we happen to be tonight. So just bear with me just a second as I get some stuff set up and ready to go, and we will go from there. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where we're going to go. Oh, there we go. 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 Yes, that. So, just as a reminder where we were for the last couple of days, on Monday, we talked about sitting with yourself and Jesus, getting in a space where it's just you and yourself and a mirror, if you want to be dramatic, and you sit alone and delve into the things that you are dealing with, your real emotions, your real burdens, your real issues. That's what you begin to do. And once you begin to do that, then the rest is kind of easy. On Tuesday, we talked about hear the Father's voice. And some of you are like, okay, you didn't do that because I was here at 7 and you weren't here. I apologized. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning when Hear the Father's voice went out, but it did go out. So please just check and you'll see exactly where that is. Which brings us to tonight, which is invest in your purpose. And investing in your purpose is probably the most crucial portion of shifting into your purpose because for many, they know exactly what they're supposed to do, but they don't want to do it. They have a mindset of exactly where they want to go, but they can't make that step. I was reminded by Pastor Eugene Smith this morning that uh, the longest journey still begins with one single step. All you got to do is take one step, and you're on your way to where you need to go. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how that's possible. Scripture talks to us very simply. At least it did. When it basically says, is there anyone here who planning to build a new house doesn't first sit down and figure the cost so you'll know if you can complete it? If you only get the foundation laid and then run out of money, you're going to look pretty foolish. Everyone passing by will poke fun at you. He started something he could not finish. This is the key to most people's hesitance to move forward in their purpose. They don't know if they have what it takes, and they don't trust God to provide for it. So here they sit at the fork of decision. On the one hand, it says jump, and on the other hand, it says stay with safety. Safety is what you know, safety is what you've practiced. And it's even worse now in this age, in this space, because no longer is it a matter of I'm staying safe with what I know. It's I'm staying safe in the job that I have. I'm staying safe with the people I know. I'm staying safe where I can control my environment. That no longer is going to be the case. For my brothers out there who are listening, please hear me and hear me well. There comes a point when you can no longer rest on what you know. If God has given you a charge and a purpose and a mission, you need to go forward, even if you've never gone that way before, even if you don't understand what it's about, even if you don't see how this is going to work out. Do you trust Him? Plain and simple. Do you trust Him? And if you do trust Him, what is this going to be? Are you going to stay where you are, which is stuck, or are you going to move where God said you to move? When we say invest in your purpose, once you know what you have to do, you have to look at your resources and you have to say, listen, instead of the vacation, I'm going to invest in this. Instead of that new PS5, 6, 7, 12, I'm going to invest in this. Instead of that new flat screen 94-inch TV, I'm going to invest in this. Instead of the brand new car, I'm going to keep riding with what I've got so I can invest in this. Whatever this is for you. It's important that you understand that it's not a sacrifice, it's just a switch. It's not a sacrifice, it's just a switch. If your finances are aligned the way that God asked you to do, which is giving the tithe of the first 10%, your first fruits to Him, taking care of your family through bills, then there's a whole chunk. Your purpose is so important. Your purpose is so important. And this is where, if you have sat with yourself, you understand why you're fearful, why you're hesitant, why you don't want to do what God asked you to do. Now you understand why it is that even though these ideas are coming to you, you don't want to press forward into them. That comes on day one. Day two, when you hear His voice, He's giving you witty ideas in the night season. He's giving you the blueprint for where you need to go. He's giving you everything that you need in order to push forward. He's given that to you. Now the question becomes, will you operationalize it? Will you put it into action? Will you take the reins and let that horse go? I don't know. Because I can only speak for me. And for me, I've tried this 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 100 times. And 99 fell flat on my face. Because I wasn't ready to give up what I had. This time, if I'm actually on this speaking to you, please understand that is a point of departure that I never saw myself doing. I used to laugh at all the folks who would go live, and they would go live with sometimes silly stuff. They would go live with sometimes prophetic stuff. They would go live with sometimes pathetic stuff. And I would just be a consumer. I wouldn't write comments, but I would view their content. And I was like, yeah, bravo for being a content creator. Bravo, bravo. But it was never me. It was never me. I never saw that as what I wanted to do, where I was going. What I saw was that I would be in my church. I would do in my church what I was asked and called to do. I would walk in excellence there. And that was the end of it. But God said, not so. You have a voice. You have skills. You have knowledge. I need you to get this out to the folks that I've assigned to you. And if I've assigned it to you, then I need you to push forward. I need you to coach. I need you to teach. I need you to train. I need you to mentor. those that I have assigned to you. And there are many under the sound of my voice that's the role that you and I are going to assume. That's what we're going to do. Me helping you achieve your purpose, me helping you align your purpose with what God gave you, me helping you focus on the goal and put together the skills necessary to get you there. Before I forget, let me just go ahead and tell you um, the easiest way to join us in this movement. Number one, of course, like, subscribe, and share this broadcast whenever you are seeing it. But you can also join the Shift movement by going to purposerefinedbyfire.com. Go down to the join button, and everything that you need is right there. Everything you need is right there. And now that that paid political announcement is over, let's go back to investing in your purpose. The Bible is filled with stories of folks who were worked on so that they could do their purpose. Moses, Abraham, David, all did not have it together before they got into their purpose. So, the first thing that I want to share with you is you don't have to have it together in order to get it on the road towards what God has for you. In fact, what you're going to find is the more discombobulated you happen to be, the better this journey is going to be. Because during this journey, God is going to push you into what He has already ordained you to do, what you already have set. He's going to push you into that. The second thing, there's going to be a level of uneasiness in what you're trying to do. This isn't fear, it's just reconciling yourself with the difference in where you were versus where you are. Where you were, you knew all the boundaries, you knew all the people, you knew the rules, you knew the protocols, and it was easy for you because you learned all that. Where you're going to be is new. The people are new. The protocols are new. The rules are new. What you're expected to do and your outcomes are new. And you're going to have to learn them all over again. Case in point, when you go streaming live, there are all these things that you have to begin to learn and figure out if you're going to be even slightly wonderful in this area. You're going to be even slightly wonderful. Because if not, what you're going to find out is this is going to be horrible. People can't see you. People can't hear you. People can't react with you. People can't respond to you. And then you may very well give up because it's a little bit like frustrating. That's the best word I can give you. It's frustrating because what you want to do is not what you're doing. What you want to share is not what you're sharing. What you want the outcome to be, it's not what it looks like. So the good thing is you're going to have to study. And the word tells us to study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Yeah, we're workmen. When we come here into our purpose, into the thing that God asked us to do, we are workmen. And as I said this morning in hearing the voice of God, and if organized religion isn't your thing and you are saying, listen, bruh, don't give me that God mess because I'm not trying to hear that. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Whatever you believe is keeping this world tilting on its axis and rotating at the specific speed necessary so that we don't fly into space. Whatever that is, has put inside of you something to accomplish while you're here. Tomorrow's not promised to anyone. So we need to get about the business of our purpose while we are here. While we're here. Third thing, you've got to have a plan. This is where the investment makes sense. If you're investing and you don't know what you're investing in or what the blueprint or the plan is, you might as well just ride down your local interstate, open the window, and start throwing cash out the window. You'll have the same result as if you put time and effort in, but you don't know what you're trying to do. Every purpose has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I was taught this not too long ago. Many people have multiple purposes. And when you finish with the purpose that you're doing right now, God will have another one for you. I truly believe that I am in about my third or fourth purpose, but this one should have been first. I should have literally been mentoring from the time I was in my 20s. But I was stubborn because I didn't want to do that. I was hard-headed because I did not see how that could work in my favor. And then again, heard a beautiful message that said, that's because you're trusting in your resource, not your source. When I put all of this on my source, the resources and whatever he chooses to use, that's on him. That has nothing to do with me. It's on him. You handle that. The only thing that I need to do is stay true to the course that he's given me. Follow the blueprint in building the house. Lay the foundation, make it steady. Build the frame according to the plan that you have. And then without question, do the best you can and the best you are able to do with building the structure. Once you've done that, the rest is so easy because you've got a blueprint to follow. You're not guessing where the outlets go. You're not guessing, is this a wet wall? You're not guessing how the electric's going to go, how the plumbing's going to go, how your technology is going to be run. You're not guessing. What you are doing is following the blueprint. The last thing that you have to do, and this is the most important, gentlemen, the quality goes in before the first shovel of dirt is moved. If you already know that you're going to cut corners, what you have already told me is your building is going to be substandard. If you already know that you're not going to put the time in that it takes to learn what you have to do, you're already telling me that you are okay with settling for something that just will do. I don't want a just will do purpose. I want a purpose that changes lives. I want a purpose that goes forward in ways that we can't even imagine. That's what I want. That's what I want. And if I can get that, then what I know to be true is once it's finished, it will be a reflection of the time, effort, and excellence I put into every stage of development. My prayer is always that these broadcasts and this shift bring you amazing joy. That's my hope. That's my prayer. Because once you shift, sit with yourself, set that time, protect that time, get quiet, and be transparent and honest. Hear from the Father so that you know what to put on your blueprint. Invest in your purpose. Give it the resources it needs to live. Give it the time that it needs to live. Give it the excellence that it needs to flourish. Once you've done that, the foundation is going to be so solid. It's going to be so solid. And you'll then be able to move forward with the building. You've already counted the costs. You know where it's going to be. You know what you can do. And some folks always ask the question, I got a full-time job. How am I going to do this? Ask the source. And the source will say, you're going to do both for a season. And then it's going to go just like this. And when that happens, you'll know when it's time for your purpose to take over and what you have been relying on to take a back seat. And as you begin to find out at the end of every broadcast, there's a beautiful short teaching on the term ikigai, which is the Japanese for the sweet spot that's in all of us, that requires 4 quadrants. And it's that space in the middle of those 4 quadrants that you're going to find your purpose. That's what you're going to find. That's what you're going to relate to. So I'm just telling you, once you take that step to invest, to do your blueprint, to count the costs, to take that first step, everything else is going to go exactly where it needs to be. Everything. Again, to join the shift movement, go to purposerefinedbyfire.com. Scroll down, click the join button, give us some information, and we're going to reach out to you to make you part of this group of like-minded individuals. And all the help that we can give you to do what you have to do is exactly what we're going to do. I've sort of changed my delivery because some of the feedback that I've gotten is, John Mason, you talk too much. So I've asked my source to give it to me, make it clear, make it plain, but don't make it all night. So I thank you for listening. I thank you for being a part of the shift movement. We've got a whole lot of days left. And very soon, probably tomorrow, we'll crank up the next phase of the shift movement because I really appreciate everything that you're doing. And we're going to go from there. So until tomorrow, 7 o'clock, we'll be right here at the same time with the 4th installation. And tomorrow, Lord have mercy, we're going to get into some deep waters. And I hope that you're ready. We're going to get into some deep waters. But just know, I appreciate you looking. I appreciate you participating. I appreciate you being a part of this. Somebody asked me, is this only for men? I said, no, this is for men and the women who love them. So if you happen to be part of the grace portion of Grace and Grit, send this to the men in your life. Let them know that shift is happening and that shift is into your purpose. Until next time, just remember, until your purpose is refined by fire, you'll never know if it will stand the test. See you tomorrow.
We all want to be happy, but the majority of us have no idea what to do. See, the Japanese have a concept called ikigai, which roughly translates into a reason for being. You need to have a purpose for being here. But this is easier said than done because there are 4 components that you need to check off in order to achieve ikigai. Now, the interesting thing about this Japanese formula is that you can tell where you are in life and what you need to work on by looking at the components you have so far. If all you have is something that you love and are good at, then you have what's called a passion. On the other hand, if you have something that you love and you can see how the world needs it, then you have what's called a mission. Now, if you're someone who has something you get paid well for and are good at, then you have what most people in the world have, which is a profession. And finally, if you get paid well and it's something that you know can help the world, then you have what's called a vocation. You need to be spending your time doing something that you love, that you can get better at, that pays well, and that the world needs. Without all 4, you will always feel like you're missing something inside of you.
Follow us for more helpful tips.